Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 3 In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be comparing CoD Points and Cryptokeys. More specifically, we're going to be addressing the rumor that CoD Points are more likely to get you new weapons and higher rarity items than Cryptokeys, because ever since CoD Points have been a thing, ever since there have been weapons, the rumor has been out that you are more likely to get new weapons or better items with CoD Points than Cryptokeys, even though you're using both currencies to buy the same cases. So we're going to be taking a look at both of those today. The gameplay you're seeing is me using the MX Garand and the good old Marshall 16. We dominate very, very hard this game. I'm pretty happy with the gameplay, even though I do slump off a little bit later on. But I have to give credit to the original researcher today, Reddit user _blues. I linked his original post in the description, and it is it is monster. He did so much work. It took him almost a month to compile and do all of this data, so I'd highly recommend you go check out his post. Tell him thank you, PM him, tell him thank you for the data. Anything you can possibly do to thank this man, because it's absurd. His data included over 2,000 rare supply drops that were analyzed, 1,122 with Cryptokeys, and 938 with CoD Points. So that's a lot with both, roughly 50-50, and we have a huge sample size, so it should give us very accurate data. I know not all of you have had statistics, but the long story short is the more people you poll, the bigger your sample size, the more tests you can do, the more you can study, the more accurate your data is, and I think that 2,000 is a massive sample size, and it should give us very good data with very good tolerances. So we can draw several conclusions from this data. Number one, and you can check this in the post yourself if you don't believe me, is that there was no difference in rarity between CoD Points and Cryptokeys. So that's a very good thing to see. All of the items lined up almost identical in rarity, all the way from common to legendary, epic, rare, all that kind of stuff, whether you were purchasing rare supply drops with Cryptokeys or if you were purchasing them with CoD Points. So that's very good. There's no difference in rarity. However, the rarity of the melee weapons and the actual ranged weapons and all the items is kind of skewed. You can have rare melee weapons that are much more rare than, say, epic camo, so that's maybe not the best test. So looking further into the data and item drop rates, including weapons, they were the same for both CoD Points and Cryptokeys. And this is the key point here, and that's all good news for you at home, is that the drop rates for weapons, that's melee weapons, ranged weapons, that taunts, items, reticles, all items, including weapons, were exactly the same for CoD Points and Cryptokeys. So that's very good news. We're not getting shafted in that regard. And finally, when it comes to bonus Cryptokeys, they also appear to be the same for both CoD Points and Cryptokeys. I will add a caveat: if you read the entire post, there was more variance here than others. I believe that was a slightly smaller sample size, and it was a little bit skewed, but overall, it appears to have the same drop rate for bonus Cryptokeys, whether you're opening a CoD Point case or a regular Cryptokey case. Drop, mind you, I'm saying cases like it's CSGO. But overall, this is very good news, and it pretty much completely dispels the myth that CoD Points are more likely to get you weapons than Cryptokeys. As far as all statistical analysis indicates, the cases, the drops, the rare supply drops are exactly the same regardless of which currency you use to purchase them, so kudos to Treyarch on that one for keeping it nice and fair. I'd be pretty pissed off if it were the other way around and CoD Points were more likely, but that's not all for this in-depth episode. We've got some basic supply drop stats and a few other things to talk about here in the end. In my last video on supply drops, we had a reported rate of about 0.8% of items being weapons, and that rate is correct if you look at the total of all items. A little bit less than 1% of them will be a weapon, either melee or ranged. However, the odds of you getting a weapon out of a single case, I kind of misreported. That's actually 2.55%, because you gotta figure you're getting 3 per case. So if you open up one rare supply drop, the odds of getting a weapon in that drop is about 2.5%, which is, then again, they're supposed to be rare, they're supposed to be epic, they're supposed to be legendary. If the odds were really high, they kind of wouldn't be worth having, but I still don't like the fact that they're behind a random wall, or a paywall, mind you, because grinding for Cryptokeys is way, way slower than just buying CoD Points. So taking that data, we can look at how many supply drops you would have to open in order to get a new weapon, and we're talking rare supply drops here, not common ones, in order to have a 50-50 chance of getting a new weapon, ranged melee of any kind, including duplicates. That's 27 total rare supply drops. If you want to take your odds up to about 2/3 or 66% chance, that's 42 drops. And if you really want an almost guaranteed shot, if you want to take yourself up to about 9 out of 10 or 92.5%, you need 100 drops. At 100 drops, drops, you have a very, very good odd of getting a new weapon, but that is a lot of drops. That's a lot of CoD points, that's a lot of crypto keys, that is a lot of in-game grinding or real money currency. So do keep in mind that despite the fact that we have actual real statistics here, and that crypto keys and CoD points are the same value, it takes a lot of rare supply drops to get them, so of course the incentive is of course still on buying them. Thankfully, with the most recent in-game update, we can now earn weapon bribes which guarantee us weapons. That takes a long time to grind for, but is still worth it in my opinion, and honestly is still probably the best way to get the new weapons. I think the fastest way to get new weapons is going to be going for those weapon bribes or buying CoD points. At this rate, even though crypto key cases are the same as CoD point cases, the earn rate on crypto keys is so slow you're going to have to do a lot of playing in order to earn these new weapons. Guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. The previous episode is me wondering if the Marshall 16 is OP, and the next episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Razorback post buff. I kind of wanted to talk about the new rocket launcher and FAMAS, but I haven't unlocked them yet, and I'm working on getting gameplay for that, so that might be a few days out. Drifter out.